Today we're talking about simple interest, and anytime the topic of simple interest comes up, we also hear about principal. Principal is a specific amount of money that you borrow or money that you deposit into a bank. So when we're talking about simple interest, interest is money paid or money earned for the use of money. So basically, if you're borrowing money, you're paying interest because you're using someone else's money, you're borrowing someone else's money. Or if you are loaning someone money, you're earning interest. So simple interest is money paid or earned based on the principal, based on how much money is borrowed or how much money is deposited and then borrowed by someone else. So to find simple interest, we have a basic formula. Big capital I here stands for simple interest, and to find simple interest, you multiply the principal, how much money someone's borrowing or how much you're loaning them, times the rate that you're going to charge them. The rate is an interest percentage, but we're going to represent that percentage in decimal form. And T is the amount of time in years it's going to take for them to pay you back. And they're going to pay you back what they borrow, the principal, and they're going to pay you back the simple interest. So let's find some interest earned here. So let's say you put $500 in a savings account. And when you put that money in a savings account at the bank, what the bank does is they loan people money. And they use sometimes your money to loan to someone else. And you're earning some interest on that money. You're allowing the bank to use your money. So you put $500 in the savings account, and the account is earning 3% simple interest per year. So that's what they give you every year. So we want to know what is the interest that you're going to have earned after 3 years. So our formula is interest equals the principal times rate times time. So to find the interest here, our principal was $500. That's how much money we put into our account at the bank. And they're giving us 3% interest. So we have to write this 3% as a decimal, so 0.03. And T is our time in years. And we're going to leave our money in the bank for 3 years. So 500 times 0.03 times 3. And if we multiply these together, we get $45. So in 3 years, we put our $500 in the bank. It just sits there. The bank is allowed to use it. They're going to pay us $45 for keeping our money there and letting them borrow it. So what is the balance after 3 years? Well, we started with $500, which you put into the account, plus the bank is paying you $45. So now you have a grand total of $545 in your account. All right, let's say that you put $1,000 into an account and the account earns $100 simple interest after 4 years. They want to know what is the annual interest rate. So once again, our formula is interest equals principal times rate times time. This time we know the interest. It's $100. We also know the principal. You started with $1,000 in your account. We don't know the rate. That's what's missing. But we know that the money was in this account for 4 years. So I can multiply 1,000 times 4, and here I have 4,000 R equals 100. So in order to solve for R here, I'm going to divide each side by 4,000. And for R, I get 0.025. Now remember, this is our interest rate. So right now it's represented as a decimal. If I move the decimal 2 spots to the right, I get a 2.5% rate. So over those 4 years, I was paid 2.5% of my money each year. So a bank is offering 3 different types of savings account, and the simple interest rate is determined by how much money you put in. So the more money you put into the account, the higher the interest rate they're going to give you. And we want to know, how long does it take an account with a principal of $800 to earn $100 in interest? So once again, here's our formula. We know that we are putting $800, into our account, and we want to make $100 in interest, and we can figure out the rate. So the bank is saying, if you put $800 in, that would be this one, between $500 and $5,000, we'll give you a 2% rate. So for my rate, I can put 0.02, and this time I'm going to try to figure out the time. How long is it going to take me to get $100 in interest? So I can do 800 times 0.02, and that gives me 16. So I have 16t equals 100. So to solve for my time here, I'm dividing each side by 16. And for t, I get 6.25. So this is 6.25 years, or 6 1/4 of a year, or basically 6 years and 3 months, since 3 months is 1/4 of a year. All right, for this last one, we're gonna find an amount paid on a loan. So let's say you're the borrower. You borrow $600 to buy a violin. The simple interest rate that you're given is 15%, and you're going to pay the loan off after 5 years. They want to know, how much money do you pay for the loan? So you're borrowing $600. Now notice that the interest rate is much higher when you're the borrower. So $600, your rate is 15%, or 0.15, and it's going to take you 5 years to pay off this loan for your violin. So if I multiply all of those, I get for my interest here, it's going to be $450. That's just the interest. But remember, when you pay someone back for your loan, you're paying them what you borrowed, which in this case is $600, plus the interest. So eventually, for borrowing this $600, you're going to have to pay back $1,050.